Councilman Franklin, you good?
Good, sir.
Councilman Goodwin, you good? Good, another? Yes. Life, what you good? Legal, you good?
Yes, sir.
Aaron, you good? You good? All right. So we are live and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed coming from the city of Red Oak. We're here, like to call this meeting to order. Let it be known that we have a quorum of all council members present, city management, legal representation, and staff and directors. Notice had been duly posted in accordance to Texas Government Code Section 551, and we're here to conduct business for the city and the citizens. Mayor Pro Tem Smith, would you please lead us in the pledges and the invocation?
Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for the blessings that you bestowed upon us as a great community and as individuals. We pray that you bless everyone participating, our family, friends, and all staff who is not able to be here with us tonight. Please safeguard the public servants and our first responders as they perform their duties to this community. Provide us with the wisdom and knowledge to conduct the business for this great city. As we approach this Easter weekend, help us all take a moment in remembrance of the ultimate sacrifice you made for us. We pray that the truth becomes relevant in all our lives as we acknowledge your resurrection. All things we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I, the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Fuller. No, Mr. Phillips, I apologize. This way.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor and Council. As I mentioned at our last meeting, we're excited to have our new library director on board. Her name is Heather Fuller. Heather is over here. She's joining us tonight for the first time. She'll be giving you the library report later. Just a little bit about Heather. She has her bachelor's and master's in library sciences from UNT. She's previously worked at the Sims Library in Waxahachie and also was the director at the Farmers Branch Library for LS&S. And she's a Red Oak High School graduate, so she's excited to be back here at serving the community. So we'll hear more from Heather later.
Welcome, Heather.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
We got a couple proclamations. I'll step in to the front. So this is a proclamation that we're able to present. The month of April 2025 is National Child Abuse Prevention. And the statistics on child abuse is emotional, hard to do. Thanks to those who help make the fight for kids' rights and fosters and take them. Thank you for being able to do that. As mayor, we proclaim that April 2025 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in the city of Red Oak. And I urge all citizens to recognize this by dedicating ourselves to the task of ensuring safety, health, and future of every child. us more about what you do.
My name is Katie Hackett. I am the Director of Community Engagement and Extension at the Ellis County Southern Advocacy Center. What the Advocacy Center does whenever it reports a felony child abuse and for law enforcement or CPS, those children who are potential victims come to our office to have their forensic evidence. They don't have to go to the CPS office or to the police station and talk to maybe scary people who might cause more trauma. They really want to have a safe environment where kids feel safe and we see that when kids do feel safe and don't have that extra trauma added on to them, they can get more information and feel faster. Yeah, absolutely. So that's what we do at the advocacy.
Thank you very much. Very, probably a very tough job. Everybody else. Was the photo over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we're gonna do ours first, and then. The other proclamation that we're able to do is, we would be lost without leadership, true leadership, from the municipal clerks. And we get to proclaim that May 4th through the 10th of 2025 is Professional Municipal Clerks Week. And the amount of job that you do behind the scenes, you keep all of us in check and giving tactics out to us, the information to us. You know, if I say, where does like this be found, and she's got a handle on it, so. We are able to recognize the week of May 4th through 10th as Professional Municipal Clerks Week. And further extend an appreciation to our own professional municipal clerks. And to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services that they perform and their dedication to the community. You want to tell us what else you do?
Well,
Elections, she does all
yeah.
that.
I was just gonna say, I want to include Summer as well.
Okay.
She is our deputy city secretary. She does. Thank you.
Okay, so now's the time for citizens' comments. Citizens' comments can be on any subject that anybody would like to bring to the council or to the staff. However, if it's not on the agenda, we may not be able to say anything about it. We do limit your speaking time to about 3 minutes. Is there anyone here that signed up or wishes to speak in citizens' comments?
Mayor, the only thing that we do have this evening is we received a comment from a citizen back in March, and we did not receive it in time, so we would like to read it into the record,
Please.
and I'll do so. To whom it may concern, I've been a Red Oak homeowner since 2007. The city has grown greatly since then. With this much growth, the litter problem has grown as well. My pet peeve is litter. I hate it. I'd like to suggest solutions rather than complaining. I recently took a defensive driving course and did not realize that littering was illegal. When I moved back to Texas in 1976, there were "Don't mess with Texas" signs everywhere. There was less litter then too. I may suggest that the city place trash receptacles at each corner, especially at major intersections and residential neighborhoods. It is possible to place trash cans at street corners. Question. Cameras and signage declaring surveillance of littering and hefty fines to follow offenders would help. Busier thoroughfares could record driver tags of people tossing trash out of their windows. In my opinion, I believe these measures could help. I want our neighborhoods to be litter-free, welcoming, attractive, and a source of pride. This was pretty common back in 2007. Long Post hopefully offers simple solutions. Please help, although this may be costly. By the way, I work evenings, cannot attend city meetings, otherwise I would come to present my thoughts in person. Cheryl Heckard, Coyote Ridge, 404 Foliage Circle, Red Oak, Texas.
Thank you very much. Okay, so now's the time for what we call consent agenda. Consent agenda are items that are considered routine in nature, may be acted upon in one motion. Any council member or city staff can ask that an item could be acted upon separately. Is there anyone who wishes to pull an item to discuss separately?
No item.
Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
That's Lightfoot and Goodwin.
That famous comedy duo of Goodwin and Lightfoot.
Yeah. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Goodwin, aye.
Miller, I.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, aye.
That passes 5-0. Item 8. Conduct a public hearing and consider approval of ordinance number 25-012, the City Council, City of Red Oak, Texas, amending the comprehensive zoning ordinance and map of the City of Red Oak, Texas, as heretofore amended by granting a zoning change from Plan Development 141, PD 141 to Plan Development 141 revised PD 141R, by amending the development regulations and allowing for the development of a mixed-use project, which will include retail, residential, commercial, and recreational uses. Okay. Mr. Hart.
Mayor, council, this is a change in the concept plan of a project that we've previously looked at, known to you as Symphony. It's off of I-35 between 342 and 35 across from the Oaks Church, with the railroad splitting the site in half, basically. So the applicant had brought in a preliminary plat, but the preliminary plat didn't conform to the previous site plan, so we can't approve it if it doesn't conform to the zoning. So I'll kind of, our next comment, or I'm sorry, our next item is also the actual preliminary plat for the site. So I'll kind of talk about these in conjunction with one another. So I will take you back to the previous site plan to jog your memory. So here's the railroad, here is I-35, here is 342. So the previous plan, most of the changes happened on this side. Kind of had some townhomes in the back along the floodplain area, along with some apartments on this side, then along the frontage, hotels and quick serve restaurants and sit down restaurants all along the kind of padded along the frontage. So the changes are mostly with the multifamily being kind of squared off here to make more consistent lotting in the back, as well as changing the layout to make space for larger big box stores like a Lowe's or a Target. So the previous plan really only had one space for one large retail anchor and then some junior anchors, whereas this has space for two with all the parking fields in front, while still maintaining the smaller lot pads along the frontage of the highway that you typically see, like Chick-fil-A or a hotel or a sit-down restaurant as well. On the other side of the tracks, the layout has changed slightly. They are proposing a bridge over the creek here, along with the multifamily in the back here, some of it age restricted, some not. But that is essentially the only changes are in the layout. The actual PD language did not change from the previous. And so let me pull up the plat as well. Which is our next item, but I'll just talk about them together here. So as you can see in the plat, you've got a larger commercial area here in the front, and then those lots are changes to the townhome lot, apartment, and then apartments, age restricted multifamily back here. The commission did vote to approve. They did want to note some of the areas more specifically that were parks. They weren't labeled clearly, so I went ahead and added the labels to the plan to just solidify that those are meant to be park areas.
Are you pulling that up?
Yeah. So we've got the, shoot. So this wasn't labeled specifically. It's going to be a lake and a park. And then at some point, there was some future sports fields possibly over here, like open green space, all kind of in the floodplain area. So if you have any questions or more specific questions, the developer is here.
Okay, so this is a public hearing. So we'll open the public hearing at 7:18. Is there anybody that needs to be here to be able to explain it a little bit more, or put your input for or against, or just say hi? What do you want to do? And the applicant is who? Okay. Good.
Mr. Mayor, James Moon, we'll be glad to answer any questions for any council. We is given exactly what we had indicated as far as the changes will be made. If there are any questions, any council have, we'll be glad to answer. I'll glad to answer.
Yeah.
No questions.
Not here.
Mayor, could you get him to state his address?
Yes. I'm sorry, would you give your address, please?
James Moon, 555 FM 2377 Red Oak.
Thank you. All right, the time is 7:19. I'll entertain a motion to close this public hearing.
So moved.
Second, good one. Franklin, those in favor?
Franklin, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Miller, aye.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, aye.
That closes at 5:19. 5-0. Council, so we're amending the map because I didn't quite understand that.
I'm sorry.
specifically.
So the original plan,
Because of how they brought it before, it was supposed to be that way, and now.
yeah, so when we approve plats, they have to substantially conform to the zoning and the way the original plan was laid out and the plat they turned in didn't
Didn't.
conform.
Okay.
And so we had them shift the site plan to what
Conform.
would match the plat.
Okay.
Or they would have had to come back and
Okay.
had a plat that matched this original site
I
plan.
see. Okay.
But it is just a preliminary plat.
Yeah.
It's a planning document.
Sure.
When they actually come back to develop, they'll come back, we'll change the zoning again for the first apartment complex, and it'll be all the elevations and the detailed site plan and landscape plan, along with the final plat for whatever lot they develop first.
Okay.
Staff recommendation.
Approved.
Can you go back to the color coded, the first page color coded? What's the difference between the multifamily and the apartments, the blue and the purple shaded?
There is no set definition. Mo, did you have some difference that you wanted to make clear?
This is yellow.
Name and address then, please.
Mohsen Taratibi, 933 Slate Lane, Salina, Texas, 75009. Actually, the multifamily would be like apartments, townhomes, senior living, all multifamily together. So that's why it's multifamily. The apartment specifically is just for the basically rental apartment for the rental. That's the only difference.
So it's not age restricted.
It's not age restricted.
Market rate apartments.
Market rate apartments, yes.
There's no difference in what you're gonna do on the blue and the purple. Like there was no defined difference in the.
The only difference is that one on the right-hand side, which is the age 50, age restricted red one. The rest of it, there is no difference. No, that's correct. It's all market rate.
Cool. Thanks for clarification.
Okay. Anything else?
Any other questions, council?
No questions.
Thanks.
All right, yeah, thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 25-012.
Second.
Smith, Franklin, those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Goodwin, aye.
Miller, I.
Lightfoot, aye.
That passes 5-0. All right. Item 9, consider approval of the preliminary plat creating lots 1 through 3, Block A, lots 1 through 6, Block B, common lots 1X through 3X, Block B, and lots 1 through 3, Block C of the Red Oak Town Center for a mixed use development on the site identified with property identification number 294629 and 294632 in the South Billings Survey abstract number, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to read all that, do I? Okay. All right, sir. Yes.
So this is the zoning case we just went over and approved. And this plat does substantially conform with the zoning concept plan, so staff recommends approval.
Okay.
Again, it will still have to come back for final platting to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And they will likely be submitting that at the same time as their detailed site plan zoning request change.
Council, any questions?
I have none. No questions.
Entertain the motion to approve this preliminary plat for item 9. And that was Miller. And Smith.
Smith.
Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Goodwin, aye.
Miller, I.
Lightfoot, aye. Smith, aye.
That's 5-0. Item 10, consider adoption resolution number 25-025R, the City Council, City of Red Oak, Texas, authorizing the city manager or designee and the Planning and Zoning Commission to conduct a public hearing after notice in compliance with the City of Red Oak zoning ordinance and state law to consider and recommend a text change amendment to the comprehensive zoning ordinance to redefine new motorcycle sales to include other powered sports vehicles to incorporate other types of 2, 3, 4-wheel self-propelled vehicles and providing an effective date. Mr. Hartman.
Okay, this one's gonna sound a little silly. We haven't had one of these yet. So we had a business owner and a landowner come in and ask us about doing ATV sales on their property. So first thing we do, go to the handy dandy code and look it up. Okay, so we've got new car sales, we've got new motorcycle sales, we've got used motorcycle sales, we've got used car sales. So then we'd have to try and fit ATV sales into one of those items. Well, most logical would be new motorcycle sales. Then we go to the definition of new motorcycle sales, and it specifically says 2-wheeled vehicles only. So then we can't really smash it into that category because it's so specifically written as 2-wheel vehicles. And so we do have a process in the ordinance called new and unlisted use, whereby we take that to the planning commission, tell them basically everything I just told you, and they would either say, just jam it into new motorcycle sales, or why don't you guys come up with a definition that'll fit? And so that was their recommendation to council, was to have you guys direct us to change the definition of new motorcycle sales to include other power sports items like ATVs and side-by-sides and slingshots. So that we then,
Jet skis? No?
we weren't, yeah, we're, yeah. If you so want to, then yes, we could add that in there.
Well, I mean, I think that might be a logical step if it's the same.
Sure. And we
manufacturer.
did ask the applicant that, and he said, well, we don't really sell that, so
Maybe not.
not a big deal for us. But yes, it could be put in, or we could add a whole nother definition. So, but if the resolution before you tonight is based on the recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission, was for them recommending to you to tell us to come up with a new definition, so then it could be actually codified and put in the ordinance to be quite particular.
Okay. Council?
Yeah, so all we're doing is changing or expanding the definition that the ordinance covers, not changing any of the activity allowed in the ordinance or anything like that.
Right, so if we just change new motorcycle sales to also include power sports
definition.
items, it will still require all the same things that new motorcycle sales requires.
Got it.
It'll require an SUP.
Right.
So
Okay,
that-
that's
so
a.
each business
Each
will
business has
have
to
those-
apply for their own.
And have
use.
special conditions. and
Got it.
those.
Okay.
Did
Yeah.
y'all hear that?
Yes, I heard it.
I never heard
We don't have to worry about you.
it.
You're a lame duck.
What's
I'll
the current
explain it
use?
to you later.
What's the
sorry?
current use
The current use of
of the business that's pushing this or asking for this?
the current zoning is HO.
Mhm.
And HO does allow new motorcycle sales by SUP. So if we added this to the new motorcycle sales, then they would come back with an SUP under the new definition.
But the applicant who is pushing this, what's the current business that they have? Oh, it's vacant.
Oh, sorry.
They're
Yes,
proposed-
the,
okay.
the land is vacant.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Better than car storage. Or trailer storage. Trailer storage. Yeah. Any other questions? All right,
No questions.
I'll entertain a motion to, for the to adopt resolution 25-025R, directing city staff to figure that out and don't bring it back to us.
So moved with the addition of water sport.
Yes.
Water sport vehicles.
Yes. Okay, so Lightfoot. And Miller.
Watercraft.
Watercraft.
We'll let council figure that out.
Hey, we want to make sure y'all are okay with that.
I'm okay with the friendly amendment.
All right, those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Goodwin, aye.
Miller, aye.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, aye.
That passes 5-0. That was pretty easy, huh? Mr. Phillips. Thank y'all for coming tonight.
Your playtime, right?
Thank you.
Mayor and council, good evening again. Tonight, I'm going to do the fire department update really quickly. As you saw in item number 5, council approved the GMP for Fire Station 3. So we wanted to provide you guys with a few renderings of what that station is going to look like. Now that council's approved the GMP, we'll start working with the AUI contractors to begin on actually construction of the site. So all the design work, everything's finished. We're just looking at moving forward and getting some dirt moving. So
Too bad they couldn't go higher and we have a rappelling station.
there is actually that built into the bays. And there's that built into the new water tower as well.
They got the chief's office that tower.
Here's a picture of what it looks like when it might rain. Here's a closer up on the front there while it's raining. And this is if it snowed in Red Oak at the fire station, what it might look like.
You know, that kind of looks like the theater, you know, that backlighting when,
Yeah.
on the picture before, that kind of worked pretty good. All right.
So that's the update. The Chiefs will be back next meeting.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Chief Wolf. Do you want to do all yours
Yeah.
right now? Sure. Why don't you please, go to, Public Works and what was the other one?
Finance.
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 Let's do finance first.
Whichever one.
Okay.
I'm
You up?
volunteering you to do theirs too, by the way, just FYI. since
I'm
you're-
sure they are. Be happy to. So finance, as you're aware, we've gone through some transitions in the finance department. Ashley's no longer here as a finance director. And then Tim was going to step in tonight, but he wasn't feeling well. So just a few updates from them. Sales tax collections are up 19.71% compared to last year.
Wow.
So another good month. Those are on track above budget. If you'll remember, we budgeted conservatively on sales tax numbers. Property taxes collections are still coming in. Building permits, as we've mentioned the last couple of meetings, are well above their budgeted amounts already for the year. And so everything's looking really good. General fund is at 52.1%, which is right where we should be for expenditures. And so as far as the department's activities, they've kicked off phase 1 of the budget process, which is personnel and capital expenditures, 5-year plans. And then, working into April, we're into phase 2 now for the base budget, which is just the operating budget for each department, wrapping up the audit, which we got the final draft Friday. So staff is reviewing that. So the audit will be, and the ACFR will be at your next meeting. And then we've got the auction items and surplus that we had on the last agenda. So,
Jonathan,
yes, sir.
is that 19.7 year to date tax increase, or is that just for this month?
That's for this month over the prior year. Yep. And that's for the January. So, we
Not
collected.
year to date, though.
No, that's January. That's January's collection that we collect in March.
Okay,
So, we're always 60 days behind.
Month to month.
all right. That's a month increase. Feel pretty
Thank you,
good.
Mr. Phillips and Public Works.
They're running about 11, I think.
Okay, get there real quick. So Jared is out. And he wanted to give you these few updates. Pierce Street Sewer Project is substantially complete. So they're just doing all the final flow testing, everything now. Davit's elevated storage tank. If you've driven by, they're already working on the foundation for that. So moving pretty well. They're still working on relocates on Ovilla Road, water and sewer east of Ryan Drive and Bluebird and Butterfly. The design for the project from Red Oak Road all the way down to essentially the concession stand of Live Oak Street. We're at 90% now. They're just wrapping up a few last comments, and then we'll be looking to bid that out. And then Jared's planning on announcing a new assistant director at your next meeting. Happy
Thank
to
you, sir.
answer any other
Thank you.
questions. Thanks.
She will.
Mayor, council, give you a real quick update on the animal shelter. It's proceeding along on schedule. Hopefully they'll have the rebar down and they'll be able to pour the slab for the expansion this week. At least that's the plan, Thursday or Friday. Within the PD, we still are maintaining about a 4-minute response time on all of our priority 1 calls. And we're still averaging about 4,200 to 4,250 calls per month.
Thank you.
Happy to answer any questions about the report. We also participated in the Cops in the Coop event at Chick-fil-A. Several of the command staff, several of the officers participating in handing out orders and working the drive-through and taking orders. We all got fired about 30 minutes into it, but that was a really good event. It gave us an opportunity to showcase some of the officers and let them spend some time actually serving the community, and got our phraseology down. That it was our pleasure. So unless you have any other questions.
I have none.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Beasley.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. A couple highlights from this month's report. We are working on a few other updates and improvements to the municipal center, working through a minor kitchen redo, the renter kitchen, not the break room, and as well as getting the carpet replaced. So that should be happening here in the next few weeks, and I hope to bring you guys at least some pictures to the next meeting so you can kind of see the improvements that we're slowly making over at that facility. Additionally, we have opened up our summer internship program again. So that is on our website. If you have any recent college graduates or even those in college that may be interested, please pass that along to them. And then also just wanted to highlight that we've actually seen definitely this past month, but even into this current month, an increase in our social media following. So we were getting really good engagement on social media. We've kind of upped and increased the number of reels and videos we've been posting on there. So hopefully you guys have seen those, but we're getting a lot of good engagement and some new followers from that. So that's always great to see as well. And I will take any questions anybody might have.
Just want to say thank you for taking up the slack where TxDOT didn't know what they were doing and putting that stuff together. So thank you.
It was a team effort.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Hartman.
Mayor, Council, I wanted to highlight from the report that we just walked and accepted the 3rd phase of the Summerwood residential development. It's the one right there behind the theater with the traffic circle in the middle of it. So they've got about 300 lots. The last phase was 91, and they have built out. From what the builder told me, they've already sold everything in phase 1 and 2. And so phase 3 should be coming on just as fast. We also gave the final CO to Olive Garden. So look for them to be opening up in the next few weeks as they start to train staff and stock the store. They haven't given us official open date, but they've got their CO and they're working towards opening. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Miss Amanda. Monsi Vassie.
No.
One day. One day. It's only been 5 years.
I know, it's only 5, 6 years. I don't know. I never can get it right.
It's okay. I just have a quick update on recruitment. This past month, we hired 2 new employees in the month of March, and we currently have 8 positions posted on our website for applicants. We also just completed our annual citywide performance review process. Just pass it down. On our new NeoGov platform. So I think it went really well. It was a new experience for everybody, and we got everything in on time. So thank you to all the departments on that. Also want to give you a save the date for our annual spring luncheon. It will be on May 2nd, Friday, May 2nd. So we'll send out the invite here in probably the next week or so, if you're available to attend, but that will be behind here at the Live Oak Sports Complex. You're all welcome to attend if you're available to come. It's a good time. That's all I have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Benford.
They're feisty tonight.
I'm just gonna update you, Mayor and Council, on mostly just servers. Our email server, we did finally finish that one. We're on the current Exchange server. Finally got caught up with all the patches and everything, so we're getting there. Hopefully that server will last a good 5 years before we have to upgrade that again. We're in the process right now of replacing 4 other servers in the city. So once we get those done, hopefully by midsummer, we will be officially caught up on all the evergreen process for all of our servers. We've been behind since COVID hit, so we're finally catching up. And we started on some of the work for the new water tower. We put in fiber run in the building to where the handoff's gonna be when the contractors bring the fiber in from the new Dobbins Tower. So making some progress. And available for any questions.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Ms. Fuller.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm excited to be here. This is my first meeting, so. I've been going over the numbers at the library, and I just wanted to give you guys an update on overall year-to-date attendance. Program attendance for the library is up 16% this year. Door count is up an additional 10%. So library's been doing very well. In March, we had our spring break program. The kite making brought in 70 attendees. So we brought in just shy of 400 people for spring break.
That's great.
Staff is currently planning for our big summer reading program. So if you guys have any questions, if not, that is what I have for you guys tonight.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you. It's a lot closer than Louisville or wherever it was. Farmers Branch. Whatever.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. How's everybody? I wanted to let you know that tomorrow out at the Oaks Park, we have the annual Bunny Trail. Bunny Trail is the idea of Easter, but basically what we're gonna do is give goodies to the kids in a bag that they can just drive through and grab, and they don't have to go hunt and fight each other over eggs. So we're gonna give it to them and make it easy for them, but we've got local restaurants and participating. We've got about 3 to 4 coupons in each bag from local restaurants. So that way they can get a little bit of free things, take their mom and dad with them, go eat in one of the local restaurants with it, and then candy and whatnot. So that'll be tomorrow from, we'll be out there around 5 o'clock. And then last year they said it took a little over an hour to get everybody through. So maybe an hour. But the reason we're having it at the Oaks Park is because we've recently, with the help of our communications team, we're able to put together a video introducing the park to the city. There's 2 parks really in close proximity to each other with about 29 acres. You have one that's an open field, given a lot of activity already with football, softball, and some soccer and baseball. All of it's getting played out there on the open field. So it's an opportunity for our kids to have a place to go where they don't have to have a reservation or whatever. They can come out and play in the park. And then across the street, of course, we have the trail park, which is a 3/4 mile walking trail. It's lit so you can walk into the night and safely go work your way around that park, including workout at the workout stations. So we thought it would be a really good idea if we can have more people come out and actually see where the park is at. So that's why we wanted to have the, instead of having it here in front of the government center, we said we'd have the bunny trail out there.
The video was good. You didn't overact at all.
It was freezing cold that
Was it
day.
really?
I'm in a short sleeve shirt. Just like, I was like, oh, it was challenging, but there was some, I gotta tell you, Alexa's team is really talented. They can pull a rabbit out of a hat and do a really make you look like you're better than you really are. So, and one of the items we postponed earlier in the spring was the Touch-A Truck. And that too was very popular. We estimated we had about 450 people come through that day for a 2-hour event, that's pretty good. You know, we had the helicopter and the fire trucks and the police cars and everything. And so a lot of the kids were really just tickled pink to be able to get there and play with things and get up close and personal with them. So that was a really, really good deal. And then the final thing I wanted to advise you on is we are still working on the plan for the park out at Bear Creek. We're getting closer to having something that we might be able to sit down and talk about. You know, I've gone back and forth with the development team, with Freeze and Nichols. Just wasn't happy with some of the stuff we were getting. So I want to make sure that we have that right when we bring that to you guys. That way it's a little bit more polished than just having something. It is a concept plan, so there's not a whole lot of details in it, but it gives you a really good idea of what we were looking at for that park.
Sounds good. So we have
Any
that
questions?
reader board out on the highway or something, the portable thing? Can we use that for
Sure.
tomorrow night? Is it not being used? If it's not being used?
You know, that might be something I didn't really think about doing. That is, you know, for us, it's simple to find. You know, you just go to the Oaks Church, turn right, and then get to Beaumont Street and you're at the park, where, you know, some folks may not know. So we might ask Public Works, we can use that right there at the entrance of the park. So you can see it as you're coming down the road and you know where to come to.
Of course, Public Works is here tonight, so.
If they're available, we'll put them out there.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you very much. Okay. So the time is 7:46 and we will go into executive. We don't have anything. Oh, wow, how cool. So at 7:46, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Whoa.
Good one.
Second. How did that happen?
That is Miller.
This is a record.
Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Good night.
Miller, aye.
Life, but I guess so.
That's 5-0. We're going home. How sweet.